Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for some more Guild Wars 2 gameplay. We're continuing to quest our way, adventure our way across the Keswick Hills. And today we've got a couple dynamic events that we're going to show you, which are pretty fun and highlight some really interesting game mechanics in Guild Wars 2. So with that, let's go ahead and head on our way to our first dynamic event. Now, we've talked about before that, hitting up the scout NPCs is going to be very, very important because they're going to show you where things are in the world. And, there are going to be times when you're kind of like, well, what do I do? Where do I go next? The beauty of Guild Wars 2 is that it's not going to hold your hand. The game is not going to say and tell you, okay, you're going to go here, and then you're going to go to here, and then you're going to go to here. It's not going to do that. It's very much about exploring the world, about finding what's going on, and going about just discovering the world and immersing yourself in the world itself. There are NPCs that run up and will tell you, hey, I need your assistance in this area. Well, that's your cue that if you want to go, maybe if that's an area you haven't been to, go visit that area. The hearts, though, are designed to kind of give somewhat of a loose structure to your questing experience. Even though there are not traditional quests in Guild Wars 2, we kind of still refer to it by that name. But, yeah, so like right here you see there's a scout NPC. If you've got things, you're like, well, I don't know what to do. Open up your map, find the nearest scout, and see if they've got anything in the area for you to do. Another thing you can always do, too, is if you're lost on what to do, if you're not quite sure what to do, is go look for the waypoints and the points of interest. Any unexplored part of the map is going to have something for you to do. There's going to be dynamic events going on. There's going to be things to discover, jumping puzzles, mobs to kill, NPCs to interact with. There's all number of things for you to do in those unexplored regions, and so taking the time to go and thoroughly explore an area is going to be what you want to do in those times when you're like, well, I'm not quite sure. Here we are getting ready. We're heading towards a dynamic event. There's one heading up in this area.
The bridge must be repaired at all costs.
Looks like the bridge needs to be repaired. All right, let's go see if we can help the NPCs repair this bridge. And of course, and the bridge is under attack by centaurs. The centaurs are definitely the numero uno bad guys, other than the dragons, for the humans. Each race seems to have their kind of counterpart, big bad guy that they interact with. And for the humans, it's definitely the centaurs. They are always trying to encroach on the human lands, take the land from the humans. So we're constantly battling against centaurs as a human character. That brings up another thing, is we're defending this bridge, trying to complete this dynamic event. There's been one major complaint about Guild Wars 2, and that is that the spell effects, the particle effects that go off when you use a particular ability, are actually much on the overboard side. As you can see right there, you can barely even see sometimes the enemy you're attacking, your fellow players, just because there is so much going on the screen. ArenaNet has talked about this. They have said, yeah, we're aware that it's probably a bit too much, and they are working on it. They're looking into ways of toning that down. Personally, I'm okay with stepping back into range, maybe, and approaching it from there. I do that quite often, as you've noticed in my gameplay. When things get interesting, I'll pop out my rifle or my longbow and go about it that way. Hey, we succeeded the event. Awesome. Wait, I thought the bridge was supposed to be fixed. Isn't that what the event was for? Okay. When we walked over into this area, the NPC said that they had to repair the bridge, and when we came up here, the bridge was under attack by centaurs. And we did get an event successful message, so... Why isn't the bridge fixed? Maybe it's bugged. This was definitely something we were discussing in-game when this event transpired, because it did seem to kind of be like, well, but wait, is there more? I mean, because when we talked to the NPC, or when we ran by the NPC, he said that we had to help him repair the bridge, or defend him while he repaired the bridge. Maybe it was reporting a false success, and maybe there was a bug in that regard. But anyway, there is another dynamic event down here that we're going to go try our hand at. Ooh, getting knocked out of the way by the centaurs charging. And this other dynamic event, as we get closer, you're going to see, is actually on a timer. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. But yeah, each race has its own big bads that they're going to fight. For the humans, it's the centaurs. For the Norn, it's the Sons of Svanir. For the Asura, it's the Inquest. For the Char, it's the Flame Legion. And for the Sylvari, it's the Nightmare Court. And so those are going to be the enemies that you're going to frequently have in contact with. You'll experience those enemies in your dynamic events and things like that. Alright, we're going to head... Ooh, looks like we got some guys guarding the perimeter. Maybe we can sneak on inside anyway. So there in the upper right-hand corner, you can see that we actually do have a time limit in place to complete this quest, or excuse me, this dynamic event. And it is a group event where we have to kill 3 of the lieutenants within the time limit there. So of course, first thing we got to do is get inside, and then we've got to find these lieutenants so that we can take them down. Hopefully they're not too difficult. And something's nasty's going to happen there. Something's firing on us. Oh, hey, look, there was a trebuchet shot. And there's another trebuchet shot. Okay, so something in the area is attacking us. It's throwing massive balls of death at our head. Oh, there's one of our lieutenants.
Maybe we can take him.
So we've got 3 of them to do. Oh, and look, the timer disappears and the timer comes back. I wonder what's going on with that.
I didn't see it either.
So once we've engaged the lieutenant here, it looks like the timer disappeared. So what would but now it comes back. I was going to say, what it appears to be is that the timer will disappear once you've engaged the lieutenants. That way, you're not excessively forced into having to defeat these guys, all 3, especially as they are roaming around. It's not as though these are static NPCs where you can go from one point to the next. I mean, they're wandering around their camp area here.
We don't do it the easy way.
Definitely want to keep an eye on those on the ground for those red circles. Anytime you see a red circle, if you can move out of the way, do so. If not, dodge.
If we had enough time, we'd be able to actually do this one on our own.
Well, we've got one of those guys down. Let's see if we can get the other 2.
Hold a second.
A good way of coordinating your attacks, because as you can see right there, my friend pulled a second mob, which wasn't a significant deal, because these guys are going down pretty simple. But a good way of coordinating your attacks is by using the call target function. If you control-click on the target or press Control-T, you'll actually call out your target, and it'll put a little like sniper reticle on him, so that you can know that that's what you should be attacking. And we're going to see about taking out this trebuchet here, because maybe this is the thing that's giving us such a bad day. No time to mess with that. Got to see if we can find these other 2 lieutenants so we can take them out.
Yeah, they're easy enough to dodge.
And they're easy enough to get out of the way, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, there's one down there.
Oh, we found the second one. All right, we're getting close. We're getting closer here. We can do it. We're on a time limit. We got about 90 seconds left, but you know we can do it.
Yeah.
As soon as assuming we can get him to come over here. Another thing to be very aware of in Guild Wars 2 is skill animations. Enemies will oftentimes do a particular move. You'll be able to see them. They telegraph their moves pretty well when they're going to do something. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that. So if you see an enemy rear back and he looks like he's charging his lasers, that would be a good time to either get out of the way or dodge. Use a evasion type skill of some sort. All right, we got one more to go, and of course we do have to fight through these other trash mobs in the area. We're running into 1 minute to go. Can we do it? Oh, there we go. There he is. There she is. Let's go ahead and do our best here to take this guy out and complete this group event with just 2 players. Got another mob over here that we want to try and get rid of. Maybe. No, must focus. Timer, even though it's gone, it may come back. We're going to focus on this lieutenant, try and bring him down. Oh, but my friend went down. Now, if I'd been smart right here, what I would have done is focused on that second mob instead of trying to keep after the lieutenant. Because the little guys go down a lot faster, and if I had done so, I would have been able to keep dodging around, use other skills. But as you can see, I got 2 mobs on me, plus the lieutenant, and we're down. Well, game over. Good. Wait, the cavalry. The cavalry's here. Yeah, all right. Thank you, Mr. Thief, popping up in just the right time. Oh, and look at that. We did complete the event. See, look at that. In a normal situation, in any other game, if you had gone down like that, it would have been game over, log out, restart the instance, respawn, try again. No, in this case, some noble soul comes along and actually helps us out, and we successfully complete the event. Now, hopefully he's a good guy and he actually will resurrect us as well. Of course, he is dealing with a few other things in there. There's still some mobs in the area, so he's...
I wish he would heal us.
He and she. Looks like they're another duo. Looks like they're trying to deal with all those as well. Sweet, sweet resurrection. Oh, and look at that. We got another group event to kill the Centaur Overlord. Again, I love how these events just chain one right into the other. It's a beautiful system. So well done.
I'm thinking it's that way because they're expecting to be busy, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
We're back on our feet. All right, so we've got another group event here. We're going to try and kill the Centaur Overlord. And again, we do have a timer, but luckily enough, there he is right there. And since we do have 4 of us, this should be a lot easier. Let's see how we do. I got more stuff. Nice evade right there. Oh, and we did complete the heart. I love completing those hearts. You get a little bit of experience. You get a little bit of money. And there is just something very, very satisfying about adding that one more little bit to your collection. Alright, we're going to try and take this guy down. Looks like he's not going to go easy. He is using that war horn to stun us, to interrupt, daze us, excuse me. The condition is called daze. And you notice too right there that I don't actually even have him targeted. Now I do. but I didn't even have him targeted, and I was still able to successfully attack this NPC. That's just part of the way that the Guild Wars has designed itself. It definitely hails from more action-oriented MMOs where you don't actually even have to target your opponent or the person you're fighting. And I really appreciate that, because then, there's nothing worse than accidentally clicking off on something. Accidentally clicking off on something and having to retarget and losing, time, dropping your DPS some. Man, this guy has definitely taken a beating. Does not want to go easily. That's good, though. I like the challenge. Of course, we're also running into mobs respawning right around us, so we gotta be aware of those and try and take them out at the same time as well. Thankfully, everybody is still on their feet, still going to town. Now, it could be, too, that that these mobs aren't respawning. It could be that the boss is calling in reinforcements. There are certain high-level characters that do that. They also like to taunt you. That's good. It's good. Just, again, part of that living, breathing world that is Guild Wars 2. And right there, you can see he was charging his lasers. He drew his sword back. He was going to do a massive attack on me. But using an interrupt there right at the right time to make sure that he doesn't do that. That's definitely something you want to keep an eye on. Back up when you need to. Almost every single skill in the game can be used while moving. And that's really going to take a long time to get used to. Because, every MMO to date, well, I shouldn't say every, I haven't played every MMO. The vast majority of MMOs require you to stand still in order to cast a spell or when you're using your abilities. And moving around like that, you can't do it. Guild Wars 2, you can. You can, while using your healing spell, you can move around while shooting or conjuring fireballs. If you're a filthy elementalist, you can do that too, and you can keep moving around. That's great. We love that. And here we are, just about to get the boss down. Come on, we can do it. And there we go.
Yeah.
That was a very, very fun event. Gotta love it. Well, that's all, ladies and gentlemen, for this time. Hope you've liked it. As always, a like or subscribe is greatly appreciated. We're going to keep featuring more Guild Wars 2 gameplay content. I've got tons of footage still to go through, and we'll see you next time.